Over like I don't know what that's over like 2,000 years ago, and and I made that cop car when I got arrested at Walmart, and I was putting I told people they could have their food for free and stuff, and I was putting turkeys in the thing, and it's a good memory though of security coming around, and making the kid laugh and going, no, if you want this, you can have this, and putting it in the carts, and but how I made that cop cry and with tears coming out of his eyes when I was in the back seat and I was explaining to him how I was Jesus' brother and things. I can do that without alcohol or anything like that. And it was really those last days, of that, and then going to jail in Salem and the way the other side went, and with James Van Prague, and finding myself again happy, healthy spiritually. So I get into in a minute on my soul side of my board. But I got Missy McKnight and Stephanie, which this is the for that the advancement center that I got a while back when I was doing First Circle Magic and stuff like that. And it's not what you think, what it would be, and it's really it's good stuff. Anyway, Jessica Davis, and then part of doing that with the because I'm going to go to 42 different Alana clubs, and that's going to help raise for that too. With many of them, I have people stories from the different Alana clubs, and that's part of how I'm going to make the fund grow. I think for the Dougy Center, and to let people know about the Dougy Center. And when I go around the country, I'm going to be going to a lot of meetings. Get a hold of the Dougy Center, and I did. And me and Brennan are gonna, you see, and that's what I'm talking about with the universe and everything, and with the Dougy Center. And then when I talked to Brennan on the 13th or whatever, and I got dizzy here, and their biggest benefit, when I first discovered the Dougy Center, and when I was doing my board and everything, and I was like, and I called it the Dougy Center, like months ago when I made this. And I went to the Portland Auto Show, and that's where I first seen the Dougy Center that you see that's up on the thing. And yeah, so what was I saying? And so, yeah. I mean, with that, the universe, and it'll line it up for you. And if you pay attention, I mean, it's the things that line up with discovering the Dougy Center, and then writing to Brennan, and I can't wait to meet her. She's the director over there and everything, and but they're having their biggest benefit, and they have the Porsches that were there, and they auction off a Porsche and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to make the video of Dizzy coming out the tree, and coming out the tree out back or whatever, and he's going to spin around, and Anthony is going to be Robin Williams, and he's going to tell me about the Dougy Center and the things with the Dougy Center. So that'll be in that video or whatever, and then it'll be on my other Healing Miles KSAT or DSAD. It's DCAD now. For that, and then hopefully before the 8th or whatever, because I'm going around promoting the Dougy Center, I'm going to go up to Beaverton, to the Beaverton Porsche, and then there's a Oriental store that's over by there, and I'm going to hand out flyers and stuff, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the, because I got a bunch of eggs and whatever, so I'm working with doing that. Oh yeah, Miyagi Go Chi, which I'm still going to do with Dizzy, and I'm going to put that in with, with Karate Kid, Miyagi Go, Thai Yogi, I think. We're going to call it Thai Yogi or whatever. I'm just going to mix with wax on, wax off, and paint the fence and the crane with Dizzy. And then I'll have it up on Dizzy's site. And it'll be really cool to have Dizzy over at the Dougy Center, and kids that are young now, that when they tell their story, and the celebration of remembering their parents and stuff, because it's don't want to forget that, and it's good to think about them and to the love that we have and the good thoughts that we have of them, and yeah. So however I'm trying to explain it, yeah. Which is another thing I'm trying to work on my communication skills. You know, a bit of got Ronnie the Resent Raccoon because oh, you fell down, buddy. Which I pulled out of spirituality through imperfections, and I started because I might help somebody with you know, that we're human and we're beings. You know, we have a soul. Our soul's right behind our heart. And we all have imperfections, anger, jealousy, resentment. You know, and things like that, and fear. Fear, you know, stops a lot of us from doing things. And when I started doing this, you know, I walked around the BA with fear and Freddy, and I pulled my fear out, and it's through the book of spirituality, through imperfections, and I pulled my fear out, and I used Freddy because fear is not that bad, and I made him, and this is Freddy, and what happened that really helped me is, you know, replacing those thoughts, because we are what we think, and whatever, and pulling Freddy out, and helped me with my PTSD because of what happened in Springfield with my road dog. There was another guy in the other room, and you know, he ended up stabbing him, and I had to take him out and try to get him out of the room, and he stabbed his girlfriend, and all that came. But I was like reliving that, and Freddy popped in, and I have Freddy pop in with fear and with social anxiety, because I get it real bad, if, you know, because I'm not using it, and I'm not gonna take any medications or anything like that. I do it through the power of the universe and Jesus, which I got a crazy cool relationship with Jesus now, you know, and him being my brother and everything like that of lifetimes ago, that I'm trying to elevate so I don't come back down, and him being up there and he doesn't remember what it's like, that kind of thing that I do in my head, and whatever. So it's him, and I need to pull out Ronnie the Resent Raccoon, and then I'm going to have him on my head when I have resentments. And when I pick Shane, like at the beginning of the day or whatever, so I got Ronnie the Resent Raccoon. So I've been pulling him out a lot, and you know, because either way, we conflict with people, we have resentments, and I own this shit right here. Nobody else rents the space, and I don't want those thoughts, and I don't want, so replace my thoughts, my patterns, you know, like with pictures. But not only that, is resetting the day. Before I wake up, well, I'll get to it in a minute. So I'm going to take these off. Here you go. Michelle Davis up here, still with there, and hopefully, and then Janelle, you know, that'll work. Or Jeanette from the Oregon Impact, Fortis, Davis Law Group, Chris Davis and stuff, you know, with, you know, I go to their website now. I wanted to, you know, because I'm going to try to get Jessica's story and everything, and, yeah, it's a lot of praying and meditating I've been doing with that kind of stuff. So, and then Narcan Man, which I'm still doing with Goof, to help promote Narcan, and Narcan being out with Narcan Man and having an oversized rig, or syringe, if you want to call it. And then Narcan Man coming and you can't find a telephone booth or whatever, and promote Narcan. And then on my other site, with the, because a lot of vets, they don't like to call the 1-800-crisis line or whatever for vets. And so I'm going to have vet stories on there, which I'm getting Shannon's on there next, and then I'm going over to the other memorial, and then I'm going to say a few things, and then these are numbers, because Matt, I want to help curb the risk of you know, suicide amongst my brothers and sisters and my fellow vets, because I love them, and I've seen a lot of them die and go to prison. Me, you know, all of us, and create that through the 42 different VAs that I'm going to visit and have stories on there, and a number list of people that can call anytime, anywhere, even if you're going to off yourself, if you want to talk to somebody before you do it, or hopefully the numbers or whatever that'll be up there of fellow vets that people can call us, call me, call whoever. So like that. I got the AA Nazi that I'm gonna do with on there with AA Nazi and some other. Mark came in. I gotta get the business cards. I don't really want to call them business cards, but cards. It's got my Dizzy's website and the HealingMyHouse42.com website on it. Meredith Ramsey with the no profit and shit. That's Davis Law Groups. And then Dougy Center for Breathing. And as it comes down, so that goes right there. And this is a member shot, a sign up, and then with a map of everywhere I go, and then with the Dizzy's Small Business Pledge, because I want to help small businesses out too, and I'm hoping I can use Dizzy to do that. And then they say a little something about their business, how they got started, their small business or whatever, and make that pledge or whatever to the Dougy Center fund that when I work with Brennan or whatever, I'm gonna somebody that's a kid that's at the Dougy Center and have it named after their parents that crossed over to the other side, and I'm hoping that there's a girl out there that they have there that's been killed by a drunk driver. So with that, and I can't remember her name, but I wrote it down, and I'm gonna read from her letter that she wrote to her dad that committed suicide, and do that and have that on my site too. So. Oh, this is Peace Hospital, so because either with Moda or whatever, with the CWT that's here, I want to get into the gardening program to do that, but that'll come open here pretty soon once the CWT, because it couldn't work or whatever, because and then being in not isolation, but whatever you call it, because of the coronavirus and everything. Been here, haven't been able to go anywhere for like 2 months or whatever. So it's been with that. Get the test results back from that. Yeah, so I'll have that. So. Because I want to make tiger eyes bracelets. Kids at the Shriners Hospital, I'm gonna get the little, their chips and these little cute glass things with tiger's eye in them that I'm gonna get to the kids at the Shriners. When Dizzy goes to the Shriners. And I keep pumping up because someday Dizzy is gonna dance with Ellen DeGeneres to that song. Watch. Nah, that'd be cool if it happened though, huh? I've been putting up the universe. Anything I put up in the universe, I'm compartmentalizing and, praying and meditating. And I mean, with all the religions and everything, it's like attracts like, and it comes back like that with I have a strong connection with Big Brother Jesus, but I mean with like Buddha and Muhammad and spirit guides, these little puzzle pieces, that fit and everything. So on to this is my solo board and my mantras and stuff before when I wake up first thing in the morning. Do no harm to myself, to others physically and mentally. And that's with thoughts too, and replacing those thoughts. And if I do, and somebody asks me, I picture hugging them and giving that energy, because it's all energy, and everything's with forgiveness, and especially with my mom and things with things with my kids and stuff. I'm talking to my grandma that passed away. Comes from something that's greater, you know, and connecting with the soul and putting that through, and then releasing that energy back out, and how you release that energy, because thoughts become manifestations, and I want all of them and to create healing love vibes and to really do that around. So I have good thought, everything is threes with me, and I'm getting back from the universe with threes: Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. Good thoughts, good deeds, good words. So those are things that I say. And then to reset, I mean, anytime, I don't have bad days anymore. They're not bad days, you know, like, even with like, because with electronics and stuff, and then my site, and then putting things in, you know, and I'd get mad, and I'd be like, boom, and then something else would go on the screen with it, I'd drop it, you know, and then it would be this you know, this chain, and paying attention to that, and then I can always come back to bread, to life source, and breathe in, and breathe out, and through happy, healthy, spiritual. I say that, and reset all the time. So I don't have bad days. I have bad moments, but they're not as bad. And you know, things like this too shall pass. Whether I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad, or I'm feeling whatever at that time and at that place in that space, this too shall pass. Everything passes. And play the video forward. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 day, 1 week. Start the day over in time. Thing I like to remind myself is I got more time behind me than I do ahead of me. And if not now, when? Find your gift and give it away. I've found my gift, and now I'm trying to give it away, because you know, healing love vibes and raising my vibration when I leave this planet, and to help others with theirs. 100 years from now, it will not matter my bank account, what my bank account was, the sort of house I lived in, what kind of car I drove, but the world may be different because I was important in the life of children, spreading healing love vibes, having dizzy and helping them get over, not over, because you know you're going to grieve your whole life, but and not the process of grieving, but to grieve in your own time, in your own way, in a safe place, and having a duck and the invisible string that I'm going to do. Think about, be about. Think about, be about. I just constantly do that in my head and things, and some pictures in my mind, and it gets easier and easier. It's not like it's the first time I've done this type of thing, but it's the strongest it's ever been with my mind, because it's a monkey mind. So have an attitude of gratitude when you visualize you manifest. Thoughts, words, actions. Jesus said he could only save sinners and not the righteous. Self to selfless, God's source enters through the wound and heals it. The best way to heal those wounds is to heal somebody else's wounds, to help them heal. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give that gift away. One of my favorites is seek the wisdom of the age, but look at the world through the eyes of a child. And that's, wow, I wrote that. And it's one of my favorites. And along with this one, which I had with them, because Jessica Davis died during Martin Luther King Day. And, you know, and during that time and any other time, like, holidays or whatever, you know, the rate of amongst teenage fatalities with impaired driving, you know, and with Joanne Davis, which I wanted to write the Dizzy's Pledge. So hopefully that'll happen, you know, and with her daughter Diane in the video of Michelle and Joanne, it really inspired me to keep going, you know, and I wish they would give me a call back. They haven't called me back yet, so, but everything happens for a reason, and being connected to the universe and things through Jesus, because Jesus is love, all about love, and Muhammad and Buddha and their teachings. Through that, they all come together. The secret, attractions, thoughts, energies, will manifest. Focus on what you want. You ask, you believe, receive. Threes. Ask, believe, receives, and that's what I was doing with forgiveness and with Bundalino, hoping that they would be able to forgive, and through that, and they're Catholic, and through that, hopefully Jesus works through her to help spread more healing and love vibes through that, and not get stuck on wanting the guy that did it to and looking at it and having a psyche change along with a heart change through not forgiving him, you know. And people say that they forgive people, and I think, me, the only thing that, I mean, your soul can, and through Jesus and through love and the universe and everything, that can be done. But a lot of people just say that they do, but they don't do anything to do it, and you have to, I mean, there's a process to do it that I use anyway to along with that, is, for me, it's not homeless, it's houseless. Home is where the heart is. Wherever my heart is, I'm home, and that'll reflect a lot on the Daphne Willis page, and teenagers that are on the streets and stuff, and I'm going to get some of their stories and put it on there. And so, mind, replace bad thoughts with good thoughts, be mindful. I'm mindful throughout the day, and I meditate for a couple minutes all the time throughout the day, and replace that with good energy, just like with attracts like and stuff. Nobody really when I'm talks bad about other people around, because that energy that I create. I don't sit there and talk and harp about people and what they're doing, and I'm replacing those thoughts that you get that's ego-driven and whatever little conflict it has. Is it going to matter a week from now, a day from now, or whatever? It's going to matter in here and in here. So, and using that and visualize. The greatest leader that we ever had that never led, that did it with love and not fucking violence or anything, and used love through and connecting around people's strengths and everything, was Jesus Christ. I think the number one healer of all time that walked this planet. It was a healer, and used that and led by that, and not ego based, but their strengths and pulling out their strengths and stuff like that with through love and their strengths through that. And that's I either can't lead, I go it alone, because I don't like any of that. What you give to the world, you get back from the world. For the love, you need to give love. Something greater than self that helps heal and create love and togetherness, one vibration at a time. The Four Noble Truths. We're going to suffer, we're going to suffer. But believe suffering, suffer. So, you know, we all have, and Eckhart Tolle is a great one that, along with James Van Praagh. James Van Praagh really changed my life around the time my son was born, and the energy and stuff that were in the room when my son was born, and then what led through that with James Van Praagh and throughout my life is pretty rad, man, pretty rad. So you ask for it, you affirm it, and you act as if you have it. 3, ask for it, affirm it, and act if you have purposeful intention. So day one, ask to be forgiving, affirm the desire to be forgiving, and act as if you are forgiving. And I did that quote along with, because I was doing the 13 Virtues of Thomas Jefferson, but then with Bundolino and all that, and so I decided to work on it with forgiving with my mom, and I need to go back and talk to my grandma and stuff, because a lot of that stuff I gotta really work on. But, this place I'm gonna hit up. Oh shit! What time is it? 4 o'clock. I'm getting everybody pizza here because I'm leaving Monday, so I'm ordering a bunch of pizzas. Yeah, but there's a place called Rizio's that I'm gonna visit when I get down to Missouri to help out a lot of vets and the liver vets. So, and then this is the original one. We had the design, with Jack and Jill. That Jack's holding Jill's mom's hand, Jill's holding Jack's dad's hand. Jack and Jill. It's the story of Jack and Jill. But that's the original design or whatever. Now I got it to where they're all four of them holding hands. So this is up. And then with this book, this other book, God Gave Us Heaven or whatever, that doesn't. I like ones where you can talk to them on the other side, and whatever. And so, well, now that we can't talk to them, yeah, we can. Oh, wow, man, jeez. And that's another thing. I gained like 60 pounds since being here. I went up with another bra size. So, but I am able to go. So I'm gonna start walking and stuff, and get fit. And that kind of shit. So, yeah. So. Alrighty ho! Alrighty ho! Diddy! I gotta work on the voice. Man, my dad, he can just, any word, let's talk something about. If anybody's watching this and there's kids around, it's the wrong anybody to see with the duck suits and if anybody, if I ever make these where people can see. Oh, that might be a problem. Oh, my glasses. Damn it. Alright, I'm gonna have to work through that problem because I gotta be able to see. What are you talking about, Willis? Alright. Great spirit guys. Thank you for guiding, giving strength, protection. Thank you for this day. May we receive good energy from the universe and give back good energy to the universe. May we spread more smiles and frowns, more laughs and cries, more love than hate. In Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad's name. Namaste!